3, 2, 1.
This is the Alpha Communications pregame show on the Red Devil Radio Network.
All right, guys, welcome to the Alpha Communications pregame show here on the Red Devil Radio Network. I am the social media guru and color commentator again for tonight's game. I am Glenn Pemberton, and I am joined now by the voice of the Red Devil Radio Network, Josh Truby. It's a beautiful night here. We are live in the great state of Georgia, great area of Athens. We've got the Clarke Central Gladiators at home taking on our Loganville Red Devils, who come in tonight with a big win under their belts a couple weeks ago, as they were off last week on a bye week. They were off. They beat Walnut Grove 2 weeks ago to win their very first game of the year and to start off region play with a perfect 1-0 record so far. And I want to bring in the voice of the Red Devils, Josh Truby, on a gorgeous night. My man, Josh, it's great to be with you once again tonight. Great night for football as we are set to get ready for some football here tonight.
Absolutely, Glenn. It's been a wonderful day so far at work. We were slow, which is good, so I was able to do a lot of research. But I called Glenn my brother from another mother earlier today, so that was pretty cool.
That was cool.
But, all right, so if you're just joining us, we attempted this Facebook Live thing. I've never done Facebook Live ever. Like, that was my first time ever doing it. I was like, let's try it. Well, I forgot that we were broadcasting from the phone and accidentally had something plugged in the headsets, and you can't hear us for like the first half of it.
Well, you know, it's like we talked about earlier in the year. We got kinks to work out. We're rookies here on the Red Devil Network. Right. Mostly. I'm a veteran of Facebook Live, but
well, then you should have known.
Then
you should have told me.
Well, I let you learn. Let you learn make you make the mistakes early, get it out of your system so we can do better next time.
Okay,
right?
All right. What do you make me do? Learn from mistakes instead of just saying, "Don't do that."
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let you figure it out. I feel like that's what a good ball coach would do. Let you,
just figure it out,
and learn, and then let you make a mistake, and then set you down, be buddy with you, and say, "All right, this is what you did wrong. Let me show you what you got to do." Be a good mentor to you. And
you could be my mentor
now.
That is awesome.
On Facebook Live.
I've been doing radio for 8 years. No, almost 12 years now. And now I've got a mentor. This is wonderful. I love it. I never thought I would need somebody for Facebook, but I need somebody. You're my man, Glenn. You're my helper.
You're
there.
mentoring me in radio. I'll mentor you on Facebook Live, right?
That's a good trade-off. That's a good trade-off.
I want to. Before we go any further, I want to thank my mom, Samantha Sweat. I want to give her a shout-out on air. She gave me a ride to the varsity to meet up Josh. And
that place is wonderful,
safely.
By the way. We'll give them free advertisements anytime they want.
Absolutely. What do you have? So,
yes.
Thank you, varsity. Thank you, Mom, for taking me up there and keeping me safe and sound. And
because we needed him.
Exactly. Josh would have been on his own if I wouldn't being here tonight. So
I've done it before. It's just hard.
It's
difficult.
He's like the Larry Munson of high school football here for Loganville.
I could only wish, bro. I could only wish.
Or the Joey Styles, like the
I'll give you that
ECW
one.
wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we do want to take things, I guess, down a notch to start off with, so we can not necessarily get it out of the way, but just start off on this note. Very horrific turn of events this past weekend at the Route, I think it was Route 91 Country Music Festival in Vegas, and just absolutely heinous and terrible occurrence of events there. And we're going to do something that normally you would never hear on a radio broadcast at all, and that's called dead air. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a moment of silence to say a prayer for the victims and the victims' families of that tragic event. Once again, we're going to take a quick moment of silence for them, and then when we come back, it will be ready for high school football. And we are back, and so now we're ready for some football, Glenn.
Absolutely. Certainly we like to want to echo our thoughts are now and forever, to be honest, are with the families there, Las Vegas victims. And it's been a rough week, honestly, for a lot of different reasons. You had the tragedy of Las Vegas. You had the great iconic rock and roll singer Tom Petty pass away, and you had Gene Stallings of Alabama. He fell into the hospital. He had a heart attack, but we certainly want to send our thoughts and prayers out to those all involved. It's just been a very rough week in NASCAR. Robert Yates, car owner for many years, won Daytona 500s, the 1999 championship with Winston Cup championship with Dale Jarrett, lost his battle with cancer. So just been a rough week all around. Monday was a rough day, but we certainly want to, here at the Red Devil Radio Network, extend our thoughts and our prayers and our condolences to everyone involved who's had a rough week, who's lost someone. And October is Cancer Awareness Month.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Yep.
And so we certainly just want to lump everybody together in our thoughts and our prayers, and to just encourage you all to love on each other and just, pray for one another, spend time with each other, tell people how you feel about them, and just send some good vibes their way, because this world needs it.
Absolutely. And with that, we're going to take our first commercial break of the evening. It is 6:36 here on the East Coast. It is 5:36 if you're listening to us in that state west of us. But when we come back, we'll be talking about college football around the SEC. Georgia travels to Nashville to take on the Vanderbilt Commodores. So when we return from the break, we will get into some college football action here on your home for Red Devil football, the Red Devil Radio Network.
Does your business or school district need two-way radio system service and repair? How about GPS installation? If so, call Alpha Communications, located in Loganville, Georgia. Alpha is a family-run business who for 25 years has been serving the state of Georgia and the United States, installing systems in 48 states and Canada, as well as in over 140 counties in Georgia. Call them at 770-263-8843. 770-263-8843. Alpha Communications, the best communications provider in all of America.
In the market for a new home? Then look no further than my boy Cameron Snell. Hey, it's Josh, and I bought my house from him, and it is awesome. He really listens to your needs and wants, but he fits it in your budget. You can reach him at 404-455-2549. Cameron Snell, Realtor Extraordinaire. That number again, 404-455-2549. And don't wait, because your dream house is waiting. Cameron Snell, Loganville's most trusted realtor.
Hey, it's Lance Houston from 94.9 The Bull. Thanks for listening to the Red Devil Radio Network.
From every touchdown, every rebound, and every home run, this is your home for Loganville sports. The Red Devil Radio Network.
This is Dr. Bowman, the athletic director at Loganville High School. Appreciate all your support with Red Devil Radio and Loganville High School.
Hello and welcome, Red Devil fans. This is Mike Robinson, principal of Loganville High School. You're listening to the Red Devil Radio Network.
Hey, this is Coach King, head coach of the Loganville Red Devil volleyball team. Thank you for listening to Red Devil Sports on the Red Devil Radio Network.
This is Coach Humphreys, head football coach at Loganville High School. Thank you for listening to Red Devil Football on Red Devil Network.
And we are back. Yeah, we'll let Florida Georgia Line bring us back in. How about that, Glenn?
I hear you. Good stuff.
Oh, man, but it is a wonderful night of football. 52 minutes left to go until kickoff. I am the voice of Red Devils alongside Glenn Pemberton, our social media guru. And as mentioned before the break, now we're going to get into some college football action, more specifically the SEC, because we're from Georgia. Is there any other football down there, right? I mean, you got Georgia Tech and the ACC, but let's call that what that is. All right. But, Glenn, man, we haven't talked to the people in
about 2 weeks.
Yeah, because we had a bye week.
Yeah.
I enjoyed a nice night out with my wife, a much-needed night out with my wife, as football takes up most of my time, so she enjoyed it. But, man, let me tell you something. Okay. When your wife, who is getting to understand football, doesn't know the extent of it, we have a a pick'em's going out the house between the two of us. Who you picking tonight, darling? Oh, I'm picking this person. Who you picking? I'm picking this person. Okay. She beat me last week.
Wow.
And the week before. And the week before that. And the week before that. So I am over.
And Tiffany is a complete football newbie.
Yeah, like she's new to the game of football.
Wow.
So
she's holding her own against a grizzled vet. That's impressive.
Well, then there's one that's most of the time going to be always against me anyway.
Yeah,
so I go in knowing that I'm going to have at least one down.
But you don't care because
I don't care because I'm never going to pick them
You're
ever.
never going to pick that team.
Never in a million years, ever. But man, and we got our pick'ems going on. So far, unfortunately, Tyler hadn't been able to be with us. But you're winning. In college, you went 5 for 5 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, you were 7-1. I was 4-6 and 6-2. So far, you have picked 13 picks, right? Or no, excuse me, 12 picks, and I've picked 10. So, see if I can have a better week this week. But with that being said, man, how are you feeling about Georgia? They're 5-0.
They're 5-0. I mean, they look. Oh my goodness, they looked phenomenal last week against Tennessee. I mean, 41-0. I mean, there was all this talk about, coming into the pregame of that game. Oh, what's going to happen after the, big loss that Georgia had last year in that Hail Mary game? What's going to happen? What's the deal with Tennessee, and how are they going to be able to? How are they going to be able to, stop Tennessee, and is Tennessee going to be able to? They were talking trash, they were getting on Nick Chubb and all that, and just a lot of not really good professionalism, if I do say so myself, to be honest with you. But,
yeah, there was some questionable fraternities that decided to get in on the action, I guess.
But you know what? I think if you're a believer in karma, you reap what you sow, whatever. They got theirs, I guess.
Yep.
If you're a Georgia fan, you were giving it to Tennessee fans because Tennessee just they laid an egg.
Yep.
On the scoreboard, they didn't score any points. They turned the ball over a lot, and Fromm looked fantastic. He looked fantastic if I get my words out here. He did pretty good. He went 7 for 15, and he completed those passes for 84 yards, a touchdown. Now, he did get in trouble and throw a pick, but defense was able to bail him out a lot of the game.
Didn't he have a rushing touchdown as well? Like a little 11-yard scamper?
Let me look at that.
I believe he had a rushing touchdown as well.
He had 2 rushing touchdowns.
Wow, okay, never mind.
Yep. He had 2 rushing touchdowns on 7 attempts for 20 yards, and he averaged just about exactly 3 yards per carry. So he's averaging 2.9 per carry. Yards.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Coming through with the stats.
Got the stats.
That's what I'm talking about.
And here, let me tell you guys about what Mr. Chubb did. He out of 16 yards, he got 109 yards. Now, he didn't get any touchdowns, but he did average 6.8 yards per carry.
Cool.
Sonny Michel, on 11 attempts, had 64 yards. Now, he did score, if you remember that.
Yep.
And Heron got a touchdown on 20 yards on 6 attempts.
I think all 5 backs got a touch that game.
Yes. Holyfield got 7 touches for 51 yards, and he averaged pretty decent, pretty all right. He got 7.3 yards that game, so not too bad.
It's not bad at all.
That'll get you, you get that on first down every time you are in pretty much good position to get a fresh set of downs.
Absolutely.
On those type of yards. So pretty solid stuff now. And on the receiving, Godwin.
He leads the team in reception yards, I think.
He had the most as far as last week's game was concerned. And he only got 2 touches. He got 43 yards out of it and averaged 21.5 yards.
Wow.
That's pretty on 2. Now someone that only got 2 touches and they're averaging 21.5 yards and only got 43. I mean, pretty good stuff.
That's pretty good. Absolutely.
I mean, we've got Weems. Now, Weems got us a touchdown.
Uh-huh.
He got on 3 attempts. He got 33 yards, a touchdown, and averaged 11 yards.
Very cool.
So there you go. There's your stats for
Very
last week's
nice.
game. I know that's kind of boring, but,
Yep.
got it. It's information.
Yep. As we're talking, here comes the Red Devils. They're coming on the field for their warm-ups. And they're away white tops, white bottoms, red trim, red numbers, red helmets. And Clarke Central does not have their jerseys on yet, but they are in red tops, gold and red trimmed bottoms, and gold helmets. But, yeah, man, Georgia going to play Vandy, who put up a goose egg against that team west of us. If I'm not mistaken, it was like 59-0, I think. That's ridiculous. I lost big time on that one.
If I'm not mistaken, I need to go find the scores here. I'm searching as I'm talking to you, but I want to say it was a little bit more than that, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I think 2 weeks ago. No, they played Ole Miss last week, and it was 66-3.
Yes.
That's it.
That's what I was thinking.
That's what it is,
yeah.
But we weren't here last week, so
yeah,
it's kind of hard to...
It is. But man, that was a... and Vanderbilt kind of had to eat some crow on that one because, you had that defensive guy that was kind of talking a little bit of smack. We want Bama. And as the big Alabama fan that goes viral on YouTube, Jeremiah Funny Mane Johnson.
I love Funny Mane.
I love Funny Mane.
Let's give him a plug. If you do not know who Funny Mane Johnson is, go on Facebook, find how Bama fans watched week, insert number here, of 2017. Funny stuff right there.
Or even just go back to, if you're new to him, just go back to his stuff from last year.
Yeah.
You'll love it. I mean, he kills me. That's how he laughs.
Exactly.
But he's always repping his Alabama Crimson Tide, which
unfortunately,
you got to
exactly.
respect him. You got to respect him for it.
I respect him. It doesn't mean I like him, but I respect him.
He's a cool guy. He's a smart man too. He's doing well on his fix. They do I'm not exactly sure the news broadcast, but I know it's in Alabama, and they do a segment with him every week.
They got news in Alabama?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. It's pretty interesting. And he's been really good on his picks. He was perfect the last time I looked, but I don't know what his record is right now.
Nice.
I didn't. But we're kind of digressing. But anyway, he kind of was repping his step with Vanderbilt. He's having fun with them. He's like, everybody want Bama till they play him.
Till they play him. That's right. We want to give a shout-out to Tyler Cloud. He just texted me. He said he would call in tonight, but he's on the road going to Nashville. So we want to say good luck, safe travels, and get back safe.
I feel real bad for Tyler because Tyler just hadn't been able to join us here the last
He did tell me he will be here next week, though, when we play Flowery Branch. So
that's great. And, I mean, Tyler, he's kind of had it's not fair for him because he hadn't been able to join us in our picks, and I feel so bad for him. I felt bad for him last week because he was unable to join us not last week, but 2 weeks ago. I keep forgetting that we were off.
Yep.
But I felt bad for him because he wasn't able to join us. But Tyler, buddy, we'd love for you to, if you want to text Josh and me your picks, we'd love to include you this week if you want to play.
Absolutely.
You're a valuable part of our team. You're one of the most knowledgeable of us. We're thinking of you. We love you, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Speaking of that, we're going to get to our picks right now. The team west of us, Alabama, playing Texas A&M in wherever Texas A&M's at. I don't even know where. Lubbock. Anyways, but Alabama travels to play Texas A&M. Glenn, who do you got in that ball game?
Last year it was a bit of a close contest at first, but Alabama eventually pulled away. I think Alabama's, until somebody proves that they can stop Alabama, I've got the Tide. Now, if you're a fan of college football and remember recent years.
How about that? Is that better?
Some Skinnerd.
Yeah, enough of that. Okay.
And I might be hearing that next week. I might get to go to Talladega for the NASCAR race.
That's cool, man.
But a lot of what I was saying, recent college football fans may remember the Johnny Manziel game from about 4 or 5 years ago. I don't think you're going to see that this time around. I think Alabama's going to I'm not going to say they're going to blow them out like they've had the last couple of years or last couple of weeks, but I think they're going to win solidly.
Okay, well,
we'll see.
Just take a guess. Who do I got?
A&M.
Boom. There you go. And now I make and Glenn can attest to this, I make my picks at work, so I cannot change them. I make my picks at work. They're locked.
For the week.
Arkansas travels to South Carolina. Glenn, who do you got? Arkansas coming off a win against New Mexico State. But they also lost to Texas A&M 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You
got numbers for South Carolina, I believe.
I don't, not in front of me.
I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. See, Tyler's the football guy. He knows. I mean, he's the man when it comes to this type of stuff.
And they can't see us. While you're looking that up, they can't see us. But Tyler doesn't use notes, doesn't use paper. He comes in, knows everything.
I know.
I've got 20 sheets of paper over here with stuff wrote down, scribbled in. So,
I'm just not convinced with Arkansas. I mean, I'm going to go with South Carolina on that one just because Arkansas's kind of been wishy-washy with me. And last year, looking at them, I mean, they lost a handful of games there toward the end with Brett Bielema, the head coach, and I mean, they had a chance to win a bowl game last year and let it slip out of their hands. I mean, this year has kind of been the same way with them. They got messed up pretty bad, I think, with Florida. So I've got to go with South Carolina just because I'm not too confident with Arkansas.
Okay.
Sorry, Big D, my old buddy from Vision Radio.
Yeah.
Dennis Fields. I got to go with the Gamecocks on that one.
LSU at Florida. Yes, LSU at Florida, yes.
Oh, man. I mean,
LSU coming off a season debacle loss to Troy last week.
Yeah. I mean, they were savage, as that's the popular word to use in this day and age. But
they were salty.
They were savage on LSU, just trolling them and everything. Kirk Herbstreit was having fun with it.
Everybody was.
And you know what state they're from too, Josh. So
I know. Don't tell me. I know.
But LSU's been kind of banged up, and Florida's just been a team, Josh, where they've been. If the good Lord was with a team, it feels like he's been with Florida because they've been getting some wins out of the swamp, at the skin of their teeth. So I'm going to go, and they won last year to make up the game with Hurricane Matthew. I'm going to take Florida in that one. As much as I don't like Florida, I'm going to go with the Gators.
Missouri at Kentucky. Missouri is just looking absolutely atrocious this year. Kentucky pushed Florida all the way to the last seconds of their game a couple weeks ago. Who do you have in that game?
I'm going to take Kentucky in that one. I've really been impressed with Kentucky this year. They're looking like they're going to be a team that could challenge possibly for the East this year. I'm going to take Kentucky. Missouri's just been, like you said, just dismal. They've had a mess with their program in the offseason, losing their defensive guys. It's been a messy few months and rough period there for Missouri. I'm going to take the Wildcats.
Absolutely. Ole Miss at Auburn. Ole Miss coming off a spanking by Alabama, 66-3. Auburn coming in, probably playing some of the best football Auburn's seen this year. Who do you got in that ball game?
All the guys at Auburn, they're telling the Alabama guy, funny man, they're talking about, we got a good team this year, and they've had some rough times this year. I mean, their quarterback got sacked 11 times, I think, the first game of the year. But I think Auburn's going to have a breakthrough this week, and I'm going to take them over Ole Miss.
So far, me and you haven't picked a separate game except for one. Take that back, the one. Well, now it's time. The University of Georgia Bulldogs travel to Nashville to take on the Vanderbilt Commodores. And Vanderbilt coming off of a bad loss to a very good team west of us, 59-0 2 weeks ago. last week lost to Florida. Who do you got in that game, buddy?
I'm going to take the Dogs on that one. Just the way we've been playing. They've been playing just great football. I know that there's been kind of this distraction here in the last week about quarterback controversy. We need to get that off
No,
the minds.
It's from.
It's from. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, Eason did all right in the cleanup role, get a chance to play after Georgia was dominating. But I think Fromm's going to be the guy. I like Georgia in that one. I think they get some revenge from last year's loss up in Nashville. Our buddy Tyler Cloud's going to be doing the game. As a fan, get a chance to see the Dogs in person. I'm going to go with the Georgia Bulldogs to remain perfect.
Awesome. And with that, we're going to take our next commercial break here on the Alpha Communications pregame show. When we come back, it'll be all high school football in Loganville versus Clarke Central when we come back from this break here on the Red Devil Radio Network.
Does your business or school district need two-way radio system service and repair? How about GPS installation? If so, call Alpha Communications, located in Loganville, Georgia. Alpha is a family-run business who for 25 years has been serving the state of Georgia and the United States, installing systems in 48 states and Canada, as well as in over 140 counties in Georgia. Call them at 770-263-8843. 770-263-8843. Alpha Communications, the best communications provider in all of America. Are you and your family in search of a church home? Are you in search of a place where you and your children can grow spiritually? Then you're invited to join us at Church at the Grove at one of our two campuses, located in Walnut Grove and in Social Circle. Our Walnut Grove campus is located at 1050 Walnut Grove Parkway in Loganville, and our Social Circle campus is located at 1317 North Cherokee Road in Social Circle. Our service times are at 9:15 and 11, and our students meet on Wednesday night in Walnut Grove from 6 to 8 p.m. and on Sunday night in Social Circle from 6 to 8 p.m. We invite you to come and join us as we worship the Lord in song and in service with messages delivered by our pastors, Russ Butcher and Nathan Boyd. Church at the Grove, where no one's perfect, everyone's welcome, and anything's possible.
God's not dead, he's surely alive, he's living on the inside.
Do you want to listen to Red Devil football anytime you want?
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Download our app. Here's live play-by-play coverage of football with my dad, the voice of the Red Devils, Josh Truby, Tyler Cloud, and Glenn Pemberton. Also, go back and download a game to keep, or just re-listen to your favorite game. Red Devil Sports, anytime, anywhere.
Hey folks, this is Chris Casey, the voice of the Flowery Branch Falcons. After listening to Josh on the Red Devil Radio Network, if you're still looking for more high school football action, come check us out on fbbroadcasting.com and the NFHS Network.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Alpha Communications pregame show here on the Red Devil Radio Network. That was Jason Aldean bringing us back with My Kind of Party. And we are now about to dive into high school ball, I believe, Josh, correct?
Yes, we are, Glenn. We are getting ready and pumped for the Loganville Clarke Central game tonight. We will start by making our picks, though, before we dive into this game. Tonight, Buford is going to Johnson. Who do you got in that ball game? But I don't think I have to ask.
Buford, Johnson has just been just a tough team.
I think atrocious is the right word.
A tough, atrocious team right now, and they've got a lot of issues to work out. And Buford is just the dominant team over the last 16 years of this state. So Buford, in a landslide, I believe, will be the result in that one.
Flowery Branch welcomes the Warriors from Walnut Grove to the Branch.
I think that's going to be an interesting game. Walnut Grove played, even though they were, beat by us last week. They played some good football. They also played some good football the previous week
They beat Johnson 42, I think, to nothing.
Absolutely. Walnut Grove's, they're an emerging team, but I think Flowery Branch is. I'm going to take our sister network over here, Flowery Branch. I'm going to take that one. I think they're going to win that one by a solid couple scores.
Very nice. And the last ball game going on in 8-5A tonight, Loganville has traveled to the Classic City to take on the Gladiators of Clarke Central. Who do you have in that ball game, Glenn?
Well, I would be would win if I'd be darned if I do, darned if I don't. I feel like by some people, because if I say I pick Loganville, I'd be a homer, and if I don't pick Loganville, I'd be kicked out from here.
You're
but
fired.
yeah,
No,
you're fired. I know this is looking like a game where we played a few weeks back against Winder, because coming into this game, Clarke Central's a really high potent team. They're averaging about 38 points per game this year. I'm gonna root for our Red Devils. I'm gonna pick them just because of Red Devil pride here. But I think it is going to be a battle. It'll be interesting to see if we can shut down or at least hold Clarke Central to below those numbers, like we did Winder, who was averaging around 44 points. And that was something that I mentioned earlier this week in the blog, which you can check out on reddevilradio.com under the Pemberton's Place page. I think that's going to be something that we'll have to keep an eye on as this night progresses, is whether or not the Loganville Red Devils can contain Clarke Central tonight.
Absolutely, and you alluded to this earlier. We'll start the high school songs now, as this is our fight song. It's pretty cool. But if you want a copy of it, it's the Wisconsin fight song. Like, it's really all it is. But anyways, getting into this game tonight as we are getting ready for Red Devil football here on the Red Devil Radio Network. About 29 minutes away from kickoff we are. Glenn alluded to this earlier. Clarke Central comes into the night averaging 33.2 points a game. Loganville averaging 13.8. However, when we played Winder, they averaged 44. We averaged 9, and we held them to 17 points. So, it's going to be an interesting game tonight to see if we can stop this high-powered offense from Clarke Central. Clarke Central is 4-2 overall, 1-1 in the region. They are perfect at home this year. Let's just mention that. They are undefeated here in Death Valley.
And that's something that I had mentioned in the blog as one of my keys to the game, as Clarke Central has not lost at home. And with a nickname like Death Valley, it's got to be a pretty loud here at Clarke Central Stadium. So home field advantage is something that is obviously going to benefit Clarke Central. It'll be interesting to see, can Loganville shut out the noise, shut out the crowd, and be able to concentrate and stay focused under pressure against this rocky environment they're going to be coming into.
Absolutely. Loganville comes in tonight averaging 84.2 yards on the ground. They average 115.4 yards in the air, a total of 199.6 per game average. Clarke Central comes in tonight averaging 194 yards on the ground, 180 yards through the air, for a total of 375 yards averaged on the season. We need to cut those numbers in half and double ours tonight if we have any notion of trying to beat a very good Clarke Central team. Now, Glenn, you alluded to your blog earlier on that, which you can read on reddevilradio.com, Pemberton's Place. Just go there. You can read his blog. And you had some keys to the game that I thought were very, very interesting for this week. Glenn, what would you say are your keys to the ball game tonight?
Well, I've actually got a copy of the blog right here, and I'm not going to obviously read that.
Look at you!
I have it on my handy-dandy iPad that I bring every week. I don't get a chance to use it often, but I'm going to use it tonight. Since I have a copy of the blog, I want to let you guys in on what I wrote. The keys tonight that I mentioned for LHS, I think, are going to be important. The Cadillac keys to the game, by the way. Lake Lanier Cadillac keys to the game. I have contain and pressure the quarterback. Their quarterback is nearly averaging 900 yards so far. That's Jack Mangle. He's thrown for 8 touchdowns and contributed to that 33.16 points per game this year. Offensively, the team has a average of 375.6 yards per game, both passing and rushing. And it's in my post, it says Jack Mangle is averaging 179.8 yards through the air per game, so nearly 180 yards per game. It shows you what kind of player he is. He sounds like he's a very talented young man. Definitely, LHS is going to have to find ways to contain him or blitz him, get in the backfield, and slow his momentum.
Yep.
The next key that I have is avoid the defensive rush on the offensive side of the ball. It talks about, in the blog, I mentioned one of the key players to keep your eyes on tonight for Clarke Central is the defensive end linebacker Sam Tarditz, and he's averaging 1.2 sacks per game. And also, overall, Clarke Central as a whole on defense averages about 5 sacks per game. So that's pretty.
We need to stop them.
Yeah,
from getting in our backfield.
Pretty intimidating stuff to read. Coming into this game. So we got to figure out how to avoid that. Scramble out of the pocket, make some screens, do something to stretch out the defense. Got to block better. Got to block extra long tonight the best you can without getting those burdensome holding calls. So that's something to keep an eye on. Another key I have is to control the tempo of the game. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, I keep saying last week, I'm sorry, man. 2 weeks ago, I really was impressed with Loganville's offense. They were able to keep the defense, for the most part, off balance with some runs and some passes. It looked, Josh, a lot different than what they had been running with just, regular running plays to the back. Quarterback hands the ball off to the back. They were able to just get in the shotgun. They were able to get into I-form and trips and stuff like that and run some screens. And they were able to control the pace of the game and keep Walnut Grove off balance there for the most part. Now, of course, they did win the game by defense with that high snap, and they were able to fall on it and get the win on that touchdown. But I really liked what I saw on the offensive side. I was impressed with it. So I think that is going to be something that against this big defense is going to be important. The next and my last key, I actually have an extra key. Normally on the keys of the game I just have maybe 3, but I decided to do something a little extra tonight, and I alluded to this earlier. That my last key is to take the crowd out of it. Home field advantage for Clarke Central has been perfect this year for them. They have not lost a game this year, and as I alluded to earlier, coming into a place called Death Valley, which you know how big that name is as far as college teams with Clemson, LSU, and how the stadiums is just like an earthquake over there in those campuses. That's, to earn that nickname, you have to have a pretty loud crowd. Yep. So I think that's going to be a big key for LHS to try to drown the crowd out as best they can, stay focused, and be able to maybe use some hand signals if they need to, if they can't hear, if it gets too loud, just to be able to make some plays, keep focused, and get it going.
Absolutely, and those are your Cadillac keys of the ball game, brought to you by Cadillac of Lake Lanier. Don't make a mistake. Shop at the lake, and if you're needing parts, come by and see me. If you need parts for any type of GM vehicle, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, even Pontiac, Saturn, or Cadillac, come by Cadillac of Lake Lanier at 2355 Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. And if you need parts, come see me. Just call me, 770-535-2200. That is Cadillac of Lake Lanier. Don't make a mistake. Shop the lake. With that, we'll be right back here on the Red Devil Radio Network. When we come back, we'll wrap up the post-game show and get ready to kick off right here in Death Valley in the classic city of Athens, home of the Georgia Bulldogs. We are only walking distance from the actual university, so we are in the heart of downtown Athens. You are listening to the Alpha Communications pregame show on the Red Devil Radio Network.
Does your business or school district need two-way radio system service and repair? How about GPS installation? If so, call Alpha Communications, located in Loganville, Georgia. Alpha is a family-run business who for 25 years has been serving the state of Georgia and the United States, installing systems in 48 states and Canada, as well as in over 140 counties in Georgia. Call them at 770-263-8843. 770-263-8843. Alpha Communications, the best communications provider in all of America.
In the market for a new home? Then look no further than my boy Cameron Snell. Hey, it's Josh, and I bought my house from him, and it is awesome. He really listens to your needs and wants, but he fits it in your budget. You can reach him at 404-455-2549. Cameron Snell, Realtor Extraordinaire. That number again, 404-455-2549. And don't wait, because your dream house is waiting. Cameron Snell, Loganville's most trusted realtor.
Hey folks, this is Chris Casey, the voice of the Flowery Branch Falcons. After listening to Josh on the Red Devil Radio Network, if you're still looking for more high school football action, come check us out on fbbroadcasting.com and the NFHS Network.
I know everybody says money can't buy happiness, but it can buy me a boat.
And we are back. Chris Jansen. You asked me earlier who sings that. That's his name. I just remembered it, but that... Oh, man, we are ready for football, man. We really blew through that pregame show.
We did. I mean, we still got about 20 minutes or so to go till kickoff, and man, we went through it tonight. We weren't playing, I guess, tonight.
But I will tell you this, though. Give you some information about Clarke Central as I have it here. Head coach is David Pernos, his second year at Clarke Central. He has a 7-5 record at Clarke Central in his first year. He was the All-State running back on the 1985 Clarke Central State Championship team. He played under legendary Gladiators coach Billy Henderson. He also won the 1990 NCAA College World Series as a player at the University of Georgia, and he coached UGA baseball from 2002 to 2013, including 3 College World Series appearances. That's pretty cool. This season, Clarke Central comes in tonight 4-2, 1-1 in region play. Their last game, they lost to Buford. They have outscored opponents 199 to 132. So that is Clarke Central. Loganville, head coach Mike Humphreys, this is his 3rd season as the Loganville Red Devils head coach. He spent many years as the defensive coordinator. He's a Florida fan, but we don't hold that against him. Last season we went 9-3, 5-1 in the region. This year we are 1-4, 1-0 in the region. The last game we won 21-17 at Walnut Grove, which you can go back and re-listen to on our Facebook page and our website. And everybody's getting really quiet. Not quite sure why, but everybody's really quiet. We have been outscored 103 to 69 this season. The last time the Gladiators and the Red Devils met was last year, where Loganville won in overtime 43 to 37. We hope it may not take overtime this year, but we hope we get a W in the win column.
Absolutely, and keep that fire going. We had a much-needed win 2 weeks ago against Walnut Grove and looking to do another one. But real quick, I didn't get a chance to mention this while we're talking about Georgia football, but there is some big news in Georgia this
week.
We
forgot to get to that.
Actually, just a few hours ago.
10:45 this morning.
Justin Fields, a senior from Harrison High School, a 5-star recruit, has signed with the University of Georgia.
Committed. You don't sign.
Committed.
He's committed. Yep.
Committed. My fault. My mistake, guys. Sorry, UGA diehards. He has committed, not signed. He's committed to the University of Georgia, and this is a big superstar right now in high school world right now. 5-star recruit.
If I'm not mistaken, he is the number 1 recruit in the nation.
He right now. Let me give you his stats. He has 974 yards, 12 passes, 1.94 and 0.8 yards. And on that note, we'll mention that in a little minute. We're going to take a moment to salute our country, national anthem, here on the Red Devil Radio Network.
And we will be broadcasting the national anthem live here on the Red Devil Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Cadet Junior ROTC program, Cadet First Sergeant Jordan Butler, Cadet Sergeant Anna Williams, Cadet Captain Class Andrew Williams, Cadet Private Tay Holman. The color guard is under the command of Cadet Captain Andrew Williams.
And we are back here on the Red Devil Radio Network. That was a wonderful job of the national anthem. It looks like the middle school band that may have played that. But Glenn, go back to Justin Fields committing to the University of Georgia today at 10:45.
Absolutely, and we want to thank our folks here, the military, for giving us that excellent national anthem. God bless you guys. Thank you for your service. God bless America. Now, let's take a look at Justin Fields. As I was reading the stats to you, he is a brand new commitment to the University of Georgia. He goes to Harrison High School. He's from Kennesaw, Georgia. He has, right now in the season, he's got 974 yards passing, 12 touchdowns. He is averaging 194.8 yards a game. His completion is 58. His attempt is 96, and he's only thrown one interception so far this year.
Wow.
And we're going to look at his overall numbers. And he's only played 2 years, from what I'm gathering here, from the stats that I've been given. He's only played 2 years, and these are his numbers. He's only played in 17 games. He's played 17 games. He's completed 244 passes. He's thrown, he's attempted 374 for 3,744 yards.
Good God.
65% he's completed all those passes.
Good Lord.
And listen to this. His first year, he only played in 5 games 2 years ago.
Well,
so
okay.
I mean, that's impressive.
We'll take it. We will take it.
Yards per game, he's averaging 220.2 yards. Completions, per game, we've got 14.4 yards per completion. He's thrown for 35 touchdowns in his career, 2.1 TDs averaging a game. He's only thrown for 7 interceptions in just these 2 years.
Wow.
And his longest has been 70 yards.
That's ridiculous.
With a QB rating of 121.2. So that just shows you, we're looking pretty good here in Athens with this latest commitment. This is our third straight year that we've recruited a 5-star quarterback.
Absolutely, and that's fantastic. Bringing things more local, here is the way the region stacks up. We have a tie for first place, Buford, Loganville, and Flowery Branch. Buford 1-0 in the region, Loganville 1-0 in the region, Flowery Branch 2-0 in the region, then Walnut Grove 1-1 in the region, then Clarke Central 1-1, Cedar Shoals 0-2, and Johnson rounding out the bottom. So that is how it stacks up here in the region. So Loganville looking for another region win tonight, as we are here in the classic city of Athens, about 10.5 minutes away from kickoff. Glenn, I'm pumped. I'm pumped.
Oh yeah, you're always pumped, man. That's your middle name.
You know what? When my wife changed her last name, I should have changed my middle name.
Josh Pumped Druby.
That's right.
It's a great night. Now, looking to paint the picture for you guys, since I am the color commentator, it's what I do, paint the picture. Right now, the weather, it was looking pretty good, but there's some clouds coming in, Josh. There's a little bit of, it's getting kind of mostly cloudy, little wind coming in.
Getting overcast, getting a little windy, but that's the way we like it because we're inside.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
We're inside in the booth in this nice wooden texture booth, and we're nice and safe here. So all's good. We're going to be definitely kicking off. Excited for another great game of Region 8-5 football.
That we are, my friend. And with that, we're going to take about a 10-minute break, rest our voices, and when we come back, we'll be getting ready for kickoff. For the social media guru and my friend, Glenn Pemberton, I am the voice of the Red Devils, Josh Truby, saying don't go nowhere. The first half is coming up here on the Red Devil Radio Network.